Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Young Money Investing. It's Sunday afternoon. You already know what time it is. It's time for my weekly market prep where I go over the major US stock markets and discuss, market trend and price action structure so that you can make better trading decisions and ultimately make more money. If you enjoy this content, please go down, smash that like button, click the little red button next to it. It says subscribe on it. There's a super secret reward. If you click it, go click it, give that thumbs up, click the little bell icon if you like, and let's go ahead and jump into the charts. Now we are going to start off here. We're looking at a daily time frame at the DXY, the US dollar. You can see we've had a pretty good couple of weeks, currently up about 2% from our lows 2 weeks ago. So 2% over 2 weeks, not too terrible. You can see we had a real nice doji candle on that Friday close, right in confluence with this previous support line at 101.62. Now, are we going to see this flip and turn into resistance? I'd like to think so. It might not happen immediately, but I do think this is going to turn into resistance. Just a couple things to note. We are currently above the 20-day moving average, but as you take a look at our moving average here, the 20 below the 50, below the 200, so quite bearish sentiment there. But like I said, we are currently below the 50, right about here. We do still have this sloping trend line and, of course, the 200-day moving average as well. So I think it is possible we see a retracement to one of those. I think either the 50 or the trend line is probably the most likely if we move past this 101.62 level. Of course, we could just reject straight back off. We could get a nice big ugly candle just like this and move back down into this supply zone, which runs from about $99 all the way down to about $96. So that is of course a possibility as well. Lots of ways this could play out. Kind of seeing this doji candle here, I'm not entirely sure how I want to read this. Obviously a little bit of strength in this move, but the other thing to note is we do also have, click on that one, we do have this 1, 2, 3 move like so currently set up. So if you see a move like that, this can be the top after that pullback, and then the move continues higher. We did finish that move kind of in confluence with this level, so we could see a rejection. We could see a move slightly higher. I could see it going to about 102.11. You might see the 50 kind of crash into it at that point and force it lower. So jumping over into the NASDAQ, I didn't clean up my chart just a little bit. Don't like any of that. You can see trapped in this consolidation phase for a while. We kind of got a retest last week, and then pretty much all sideways action this past week until Friday. Friday was a very strong close, up about 1.78%. We are still holding the 20-day moving average, moving higher and higher and higher, and we also retested the top of this consolidation channel. So really some bullish momentum going out here. I still maintain my hypothesis that at some point, sooner or later, the NASDAQ has to give it back. We are up, somewhere between 40 and 50% on the year. That's just absolutely ludicrous, you guys. Still trading 24%, we'll call it, away from the 200-day moving average. Really, we'll actually zoom out to a weekly time frame here. Really just absolutely bonkers, absolutely crazy price action here. Really no pullbacks, no retracements except this very, very small part during February. But you can see that momentum is kind of slowing down a little bit as we take a look into the RSI. We got a peak back here in June 15th and another peak July 18th. So But price action really not going too much higher. It does mostly look like consolidation. You see consolidation in this area here, kind of looks like a little bit more of consolidation right here, just slightly higher. So is this going to keep moving up? Are we going to see a retracement? I really don't know, but I do think if the dollar continues to weaken and move lower, then the Nasdaq will continue to gain strength. So that is kind of that inverse relationship that I've talked about before. So keep a close eye on the dollar here, but ultimately I think at some point you kind of have to revert to the mean. And I think that sooner or later the Nasdaq is going to come back down to this 13,843 level, because we really didn't get a retest of that. We just broke it and just kind of went straight off. Jumping over into the Russell looking really good. Absolutely smashing a couple of weeks after we finally broke that 1923 level. I don't normally trade the Russell when I'm day trading, so I didn't really capture any of these moves. But you know, if you had bought here, this would have been a fantastic place to buy. If you had bought here, this would have been a fantastic place to buy, and you'd be sitting on quite a pretty profit right now. So what's next? We are kind of running into, I'll actually draw out another zone here, go from about here to there, and we'll change it to red. Make it red for resistance. So we are kind of dealing with this resistance level now. I'm not entirely sure how the Nasdaq is going to deal with that. I think it's possible that you see a move come back down to this 1923 level, kind of gather some more buyers, possibly see this 50-day moving average come up and kind of support it before it continues to push price action in a bullish direction like so. That's kind of the hypothesis that I'm working with right now. The Russell is trending. We're no longer going sideways. So unless we kind of get trapped in this range, which I don't really think will happen, although I could be wrong, I think that the Russell is going to kind of slow down, consolidate just a little bit, and then continue moving higher. Let's jump over to the Dow Jones. Dow Jones just kind of hanging out around that 35,459 level. You can see we did break that 34,345 level. We were trapped there for quite a while, and now we're just kind of hanging out. Very much sideways action in the past week, really didn't go anywhere, but we are toying around with that 410 level that I have previously mentioned. So the Dow Jones visually also quite a bit extended from the 200-day moving average, about 6.5%, so not nearly as much as the Nasdaq, but when you look at it visually, it does look quite extended. So I don't know if we're going to see a retracement. I think that it's very possible that we see a move back down to this 345 level, kind of see this flip, turn from resistance into support, and then ultimately, as we catch a lift on maybe the 50, maybe the 200-day moving average, you see price action continue to move up. Zooming out to a weekly time frame, there's really no real levels above us until we get to all-time highs, which are at about 37,000. So really not too much resistance hanging above us. This 410 level, this 35,410 level, really the last thing we kind of have to deal with. One thing to note is taking a look at the RSI. The RSI is a little bit overheated, we'll say. Might need a slight cool-off period, especially taking a look at this yellow line, which is a moving average of the RSI. The moving average is starting to run into overbought territory. So anytime I see that, I do think that there is a slight retracement coming in the future. Now, let's go ahead and jump into my trade of the week. Now, this one popped back up on my radar. It is another large cap tech stock. Those have been working out absolutely fantastically for us. You know, as we take a look here at some of my recent trades, PayPal absolutely smashed that trade. Lyft is currently active. I am currently long in this trade. We are currently profitable on that. Roku absolutely smashed it after that earnings call, got that huge 31% pump, smashed that trade. And so what we're actually going to be taking a look at is we're going to go back to Coinbase. This was one of my better trades. I actually called it, I believe it was, let me see, this was when the news came out that the SEC was suing them, so I think I called it the next week, right about the middle of June. Right about the middle of June, I believe I called it. I could be wrong on that. I have to go back and double check my videos, but right around here, and you can see we got this absolutely massive pump of about 100% roughly. And so what I'm looking at right now is I think that you have a chance here. If you missed Coinbase the first time around, I think that you have a chance here to capitalize on a second move. I think that Coinbase is in the process of going parabolic. I think we've seen the first leg up. We've kind of cleared out all the sellers in this area, and I think that it's going to kind of retrace down. And you can see I have this green area right here. I will make it a little bit darker so you guys can see. Right there. This is my buy zone. It runs from about 85, we'll call it $86 down to $81. So there's a $5 buy range that I think that would be a really solid opportunity to get in. So the other thing to note as we go ahead and draw out our Fibonacci here is that does give you a 0.5 retracement at about $82. So really solid buying area here. What we're actually looking at is we're looking to buy in between $86 and $81. You could even go all the way down to $80, I would say. And we're looking to take this all the way up to about 193. We do have that resistance area drawn out here in red. You can see massive sell-off here, kind of a fair value gap, you might call it. And then the other reason that I really like that level is as we draw our fib extension here, we go from 1, 2, pull it down to 3, and where does that 168 extension land you? It lands you at $187. So between, call it $185 to $200, absolutely fantastic big profits. You can see that I've kind of drawn a line out here with my highlighter. The risk to reward is 4.75. Play around with the stop a little bit. I don't entirely know where I would put it. You could put it about 73, you could put it at about 67, you could put it, all the way down at like 62. Do what works for you. Remember, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. Don't do anything stupid with your money. But that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, go smash that like button. Let YouTube know you appreciate and enjoy this content so that they show it to more people and help this channel grow. I got mad love, mad appreciation for every single one of you guys. Peace out, homies.